Hi everybody. Just wanted to film a message today about what's going on in the world. I'm sure we're all aware of the extraordinary times that we're living in. And, just seeing what's going on in the world. So, thought I'd do something a little different today and bring up Ukraine and just kind of like what's going on and see what's arising from that. I've been following the news and what's important for me to point out in this message, let's see here. You just take a little perch in the shade. It's so warm. Here we go. Okay. When you are experiencing grief, at the core primal level of your experience of what's happening, if you're experiencing really deep grief, sadness, it's the universe, it's being, no thing experiencing that. So being is a reflection of separation in our experience, a mirror of our separateness. We call it the dance, the play, the dream, illusion. But really those are just words, because this is just being, doing what it's doing to itself, by itself, and for itself. For no other reason, because other than that's what it's doing. And that doesn't mean that what it's doing is in alignment with its true nature, necessarily. But here in the world of duality, there's the appearance of free will and the experience of free will. So in a way, free will is experienced as part of the dream. Karma is experienced as part of the dream. Right? But it's still being experienced. Grief is still being experienced. And although it's impersonal, because it is happening to one energy, to one life, to one interconnected, living, breathing essence of all that is, we still have to sit on the leading edge of consciousness and not hide in delusions or spiritual stories that things are going to get better. That my prayers will save the world. I'm talking about direct experience of incomprehensibly intense feelings, thoughts, energies, sensations, and experiences. So I want to just take a moment to see what's coming up for me when I think of Ukraine, and I want to share that with you. So I had a friend of mine say to me something really interesting last week that I want to share with you, but he said that we should judge the world only by what's in our presence. And if you're watching the news and you know what's going on in the world, that's in your presence. So how do you judge yourself? How do you see what's happening? What does it mean? What does it say about you? How are you now? How would you like to be? Where are you now and where are you heading? How do you judge anything that's in your presence? How you're judging that which is in your presence is how you're seeing yourself. So who are you? Be honest, don't lie. Be honest. Don't spiritualize or mentally conceptualize that image of yourself that you think you are, or that you think you're heading towards, or that you hope to be. How do you judge the world? Because when I look at the pictures of the young people who are no more than 20 years old on the front lines of violence, and when I look at their beautiful faces, you know, it hurts, and I'm not going to lie about that to myself. It hurts. Where are we still feeling those pebbles in our shoe? Those inklings of something not being right? Because you see, those aren't stories of I'm separate, I'm deluded, I'm not awake. That's being. That's aliveness. That's God showing you who you are. And this expression. in this beautiful, magnificent, horrendous expression of what's happening. So it's not that I leave this message for you today with a heavy heart or anything like that, actually. I'm very hopeful, you know. I'm hopeful that we'll keep mining the truth of our being, and that we will be ceaseless in those efforts, devoted in those efforts, devoted to greater and deeper intimacy with anything and everything that comes into our awareness, that comes into our presence, devoted to finding the unity and the love and the oneness and the reflection of the mirror of who we are in that, and stop telling ourselves that this sickness, this powerlessness, this war, it's out there. It doesn't belong to me. How sad, the world's falling apart. What an awful world I live in. No. No, where are you falling apart? What parts of you still are sick, ailing, crying for medicine? Holy, holy medicine, spiritual medicine. What parts of you are still at war? Grieve those parts. Grieve them. Feel the sadness. Feel the disillusionment. Feel the disappointment that things didn't turn out the way you thought they would. That the world appears as one, but yet that oneness seems so imperfect. Experience that imperfection, Don't run from that. Don't hide from that. When we don't learn to feel reality on a relative level, and we're not willing to go there, we're living a lie. There's no way you could have bliss, happiness, and love without going through the portal of who you are. Okay, the good and the bad. And that's the truth. That's just the truth.